Good afternoon. Today's episode of Path, Passion, Purpose is live from a beautiful location on the Geneva lake in a private home. We are privileged to speak to Benjamin Firmenich on his journey from family business to actually creating his own company, doing a lot of impact for the world. We're so grateful to be here, and I believe you'll really enjoy this episode. Hi, Benjamin.
Hi, Elena.
Thank you for having us in your home. We really appreciate it. Let's dive straight into it. My first question to you is, what led you to where you are today? From this maybe beautiful location where you grew up to what you're doing today. What were the life-changing things that happened in your life that created the path towards what you're doing today?
Yeah, I was thinking about that question, and there are many things that happened. Well, I grew up here, as you said, in this beautiful location. I think also that has an influence. I was always outside in the lake. My parents also took me to amazing trips, the Red Sea, to Africa. So I was very lucky. I got all this exposure to the world. And then as a student, I didn't really know what to do. I followed the path of my father and grandfather, studying chemistry first. Yeah, but this lasted for 3 months. And and then I realized it was not for me. So it was a bit hard. I had to announce to my dad I didn't want to continue. I didn't understand anything of the molecules, atoms, etc. So I had this call of the military. So it was a good excuse. I said, look, I have to go to the military. And so I left. And then I saw this orientation. Person told me, yeah, political sciences could be interesting for you because you see a lot of different material. And it's true, I was interested in the human beings, and you can be many different things after studying political sciences, a journalist or working in a kind of organization. Say, okay. And then I started this studies, and on the way I could get to an option. There was you did political sciences, but I did environmental science minor, it's called, with the courses in different faculties of the university. And there I got really moved by this one teacher who was an activist already for 30 years. He was an activist with the Club of Rome, with an early climate activist, if you want, since the 70s. And he had been kicked out of the universities because he was not too... yeah. And then I thought, wow, this is really what I want to explore. I really feel like it's my place here to understand about the ecosystems, the relationship with humans, and there I decided to do a master in the Netherlands in environmental sciences, and that was to me like a mission. I had to find a way to work with human and the living, or sometimes there's the world, nature, but I don't really like it because it's a bit romantic. It's considering human and nature separated while we're part of it, and that's many times that's where the problem sits. We tend to consider it as external, where it's our house, it's our we're part of it, it's our body, it's our home. So yeah, I did those studies, and then the problem is when you go out of environmental sciences, you're an environmental scientist and you're not really a professional. Well, it was 12 years ago, 13 years ago now. What to do? Then I heard about this banker who was doing impact, and I met him, and he told me, you should meet this other guy who's starting his business. And this was my Cedric, who we met for a coffee, but that a coffee turned into a 2-hour conversation, and really connected there, and yeah, I started working for him. He was starting his new company, and I was the impact guy. And then slowly, it took me some time to, get confident, and then attract my family to the adventure, and that's what helped us to start at the beginning. And now it's been 13 years, yeah, in this adventure.
So, where has that taken you now? What are you doing today with what you learned and what you experienced?
Well, today it's a bit. I had many changes in the recent times, and it's the funny thing is that I feel like all these years, all this experience, were meant to train me for now, right? We had this major transaction of the family business. We're organizing as a family office. So now starting a new family business as an investment firm, and I want to be involved in that. So, but also continue with my baby that is impact finance, and so I'm trying to transform now to be able to do those different things at the same time.
So tell me first
Yes.
a bit more about your baby,
Yes.
and then we'll go back to the family
Okay.
business.
Yes.
What is your baby?
So impact finance, it's
That's the name of the
it's a
company.
mission. Yeah,
Impact
yeah.
Finance.
So the
Very good
purpose is
name.
in the name. Yeah. So what impact does your money have? That's really the question. And we want to ask to investors, right? We want investors to realize that their money can have an impact. People in these times of fast changing world, or global risks, or anxiety with the climate or with biodiversity, many things you can do to lesser your impact, right? Or to have a positive impact, your consumption, your work, your travels, etc., but also your money. And that's really what people are starting to understand, but it really takes time because there are lots of emotions related to money. But really, impact finance is to give a human face to finance, because we believe that finance has been too much instrumentalized or in its own world.
Yes.
And yeah, it's true. It's a complex, and it's a hard work to be. It's really difficult to invest these days, but still, we're trying to change things, how things are being done, to show that you can have a positive impact and a return, and the two of them are not a trade-off. They're not exhaustive, and yeah, that's what we've been trying now for 12 years, being global first in different sectors, and then we said, okay, now we'll concentrate on Latin America, on agri and food. We specialized. We have a local team, and that's really our strengths now. We have 10 people on the ground in Colombia, looking for companies to finance. We have very precise criteria of companies we want to look for in the various sectors we're interested in that we think have an impact on people, on planet.
What's your criteria?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
So it has to be an existing business. We do debt, so it has to be already with the sales, with the product, with the cash flow, and we accelerate the company. So it has to be really established, but in a sector where not necessarily it's easy to finance themselves. So in agri and food, working capital is really intensive in working capital. Also, lately we are also interested in an adjacent sector than agri and food is mining. And here we're the only ones. We just discussed a case now. We were talking, do they look for financing other than ourselves? And they say, the analyst was saying, no one else wants to finance this sector. And we think we are, it's our mission to go there where no one goes, because that's where so many people could be impacted. That's the beauty of it. With a few $1 million, you have an impact on so many lives, because you change how things are produced, how things are extracted, how things are are shipped.
The whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
Really interesting. And why, last question on this part, why Latin America, why Colombia?
Yes, so different reasons. The first one, my business partner Cedric, he had a network there. He set up a local office of his previous company in Mexico. And at first we were global, and because Cedric, his previous companies were in microfinance, and in microfinance, the Blue Orchard and Symbiotics, they were everywhere because it's the same business model, a bank, loans, and so it's easy to transpose to other different geographies. With us, what we do is always very different. So we have to have a common ground. We have to have networks. We really need to secure our investments with being on the ground, and that we cannot do this internationally, all over the globe. And Latin America, we feel closer to culturally. So we see there that we fit also. Myself, when I go to Latin America, I learned Spanish with the years. So we understand each other with the entrepreneurs. They relate to my family business also when we talk to entrepreneurs, and so we can really work together easily than in other geographies. So that's one. And then the professionals you find in Colombia is really something spectacular. You really find talented people that are dedicated, and especially we are not in Bogota, where the most of the financial hub is, but in Cali. But it's here you really find talents, and you really find people that are loyal and talented and professional.
So you mentioned family business, and I think maybe many people don't know about it. I know about it, and I know already your family business was actually one of the corporate institutions which trying to do a lot of good and shape the path.
Yes.
Do you want to share with us a little bit about the family business before we go on to the smaller nuclear entity? Yes. I think you're great.
Okay. As you say, they are, for me, it's an inspiration. And I always try to find the inspiration. There are also the good and bad, right? But as sometimes I present myself, you could see in the entry there are some elephant defense. That's my grandfather. He killed an elephant, right? And sometimes I present myself, look, that's what my grandfather did, and that's who I am. When I go to Colombia, I visit a plantation. But then, that was years ago. Then I realized my grandfather did also good things, right? And also, he was hunting one year, and then his friends wanted to go back hunting, and he said, no, I want to film. And he started filming in Africa, and he didn't want to hunt anymore. And so with the family business, I'm very proud of some achievements, that we were the first to have child care in Geneva, the first company. We were the first to publish our number of accidents in the plants, to publish a sustainability report. We were always leaders in sustainability. My grandfather was presenting the results of the company every 3 months to the whole team, the whole plant, and everyone has a variable premium every quarter on the results. So that's really, at the end, the team, it's the heart of the reactor. It's really at Impact Finance. Also, the team is key. I myself, as I said, I'm transforming, but I'm try to remember always to be there for the team, and that's what we put forward at first when we present what we do. It's who we are, the team, why we do that, right? There's Cedric and I, but we couldn't do this alone. There are 10 people in Colombia, 5 in Geneva. And I try to inspire myself from those achievements of the family business, and from these lessons also sometimes for the bad, right? For the mistakes, and what I consider as worth taking.
So what drives you today? What when you get up in the morning and you say like, today I want to do something impactful. So obviously it has to do with impact finance. We already discovered that. But when you wake up, what's the passion, the fire, the drive? What change do you want to see?
Well, to be honest, it's today I was asking myself this question because we discussed yesterday, and I feel that it's always a bit like this, right?
Of course.
And but these days it was more a bit. I was feeling down. I don't know if it's the winter, if it's the news, if it's the world, but what drives me today more these days, it's more the people I meet, and that, like you yesterday, and the people I met in Vadus at the Systemic Forum, that want to move things, right? Want to change the system change. We're a lot about that, about moving things, doing things differently. There's a sense of urgency. Yes. For me, that professor had the sense of urgency for 50 years, right? Mm-hmm. But now it's starting to get viral, right? Mm-hmm. So this is driving me, like all the rebuke and all the critics and all the no's I get, like no, we're not interested, or no, it's too risky, or no, it's not enough return. I can absorb them because I know I have this also group of investors behind that support me and the people around me. So yeah, sometimes it's going in nature, I say it, but in the forest that I do every year. I go with a group in the forest. We spend 6 days. It's always a different group. And that's where, yeah, the most beautiful thing at the end is the human experience, living like a tribe, and those conversations that we have. That's I think that's the success also of this gathering. We're out of. I was not in Davos, but I understand why people go to Davos, right? They want to get together, to the collective intelligence. We talk a lot about artificial intelligence, but I think collective intelligence is really something precious. Is that you get the right people together, they start a conversation, and then ideas come and they align themselves. So yeah, long answer to what drives me, but I think it's the human being that is at the center.
I couldn't agree more. Like, what you said also means a lot to me, because it's like what I made my life purpose, literally. Because change will only happen if we collectively, consciously gather together and try to support each other, if we're on the right path for everyone. And everyone literally means anything and everyone, the whole planet, the outside planet, the systems beyond us, the animals, the nature, etc. Everything that has energy, and everything has energy. A little bit of a mean question, and you're the only one who's going to get it, so you choose how to answer it. I've asked everybody who is very intelligent that I met this year whether they're an optimist, pessimist, or they can be a realist, which is the easy way out, about the future of humanity and where we're going. What's your take?
I'm to be optimist or pessimistic, I think is I believe in the human. So, and I think the human needs to believe in something, right? So we believe in a cause. That's what drives us. Otherwise we'll be depressed and just stay in bed and watch Disney Plus. So we are I think the human being has an amazing capacity to thrive and to change. So that would be more the optimistic thing. And I think in life, my experience is I like the Forrest Gump sentence. It's like, you never know what you're gonna pick when you pick a chocolate, right? And so that's what my life story, as you asked me, or all the important decisions, or at the end it was just navigating through life and be ready to see things when they appear, and embrace them or not, and then follow your flow. And so I think human beings have a future for that. It's not easy because there's lots of human beings have also a lot of the past and the weight of the past, and of course we learn a lot. The history is important, of course, but I mean we have beliefs, we have some myth, we have some things that are stopping us from changing. But still, I'm here for, that's my personal mission, to be in talks, to be in published, so that others can hear this story. It's really a story of, at the end, I don't think I'll create a fortune like my ancestor did, or every entrepreneur did. What my goal in life is to, when my children are older, they ask me what I did with the resource I had, and I will tell them, yeah, that's what I did. I tried, and then I'll be happy with that.
So Benjamin, what are you passionate about?
For me, it's funnily, well, our family fortune was based on chemistry and synthetic elements and molecules, but I'm really into, I think it relates to this because it generates emotions, those taste or those smells. A smell reminds you of I remember my dad coming home from work and he smelled like the perfume, and so when I go near the plant, it reminds me of this childhood. Or smells have to do with memories, and also eating is such a celebration in life. It's how we connect also to the living beings, to the plants, to animals. So in a way, my passion is those products. They're so diverse. Diversity is in birds, insects, fish, etc., but also in all the different taste you can find, the different spices, the complexity of a coffee or a chocolate. So, and here money, as I channel it, for me it's energy to those value chains that are, and is moving, right? It's always moving, shipping products from one place to another, discovering new smells, new flavors. That's really something I relate to and I'm passionate about.
I want to thank you for hosting us today in your home and welcoming us. And we are so grateful for this session with you. Thank you, Benjamin.
Thank you, Elena. Thanks to the team.